Let me tell you something. A driver don't pick the car. Car pick the driver. It's a mystical bond between man and machine. It's a mystical bond between man.
What's up, you beautiful collectors and Transformer fans? Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And I told ya, the ladies have returned. And thanks to you and all of my Optibotimus Plus channel members, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class ARCEE, as she appeared in the Transformers Bumblebee film. We're getting a lot of really great figures of female characters in the Transformers universe lately, and I am all on board for them. For the package, you can see that much like all the Studio Series figures, you have the Transformers text with the Generation logo, you got the Transformers Bumblebee logo right up here, gorgeous CGI image of ARCEE in her robot mode. Of course, you got the open thing, which is annoying. Come around to the side, you got an up-close image of her face. The other side here has a more pullback image of her with the little Autobot logo there at the top. Come around to the back of the package, you see that she transforms in 23 steps, and because she is part of the Studio Series line, you know, you have that big screen inspired look and all that kind of stuff. So you got cool images of her in a robot as well as her kind of motorcycle-ish mode. Again, in the Bumblebee film, none of these characters had vehicle modes, so Hasbro had to create them, and I think that works perfectly. But as with all the other Studio Series figures, you also do get a backdrop, which is just the scene on Cybertron, nothing overly spectacular. We've seen it several times. And then the bottom, nothing, but it is upside down. But for the packaging on her, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get her out here and see how cool she actually is. And here we have the new Deluxe Class ARCEE from the Transformers Bumblebee movie opened up and out of her packaging. And you know, in general, I'm really happy with how she turned out. Now granted, in this version, she no longer is that futuristic sports car that we're kind of used to seeing her look like, but it still is pretty nice nonetheless. And again, remember that Hasbro had to create alt modes for these characters because they didn't have them in the film. So they had to absolutely get fairly creative, and for the most part, I'm happy with how she turned out. As you can see, she's done up in this kind of futuristic motorcycle, I guess. You got these wheels. She rolls pretty decently. I guess the ugliest part of her would probably be the back section here, which really does just look like that's her chest. There's her arms folded up. She's holding her guns. I mean, you can take these out, and I guess maybe you could store them underneath here. Like, I don't know. Not really. Kind of doesn't fit all the way. Well, I mean, maybe a little bit. But for the most part, it's okay. Oh, well, you got little tabs right here, so you can tab these in. You can put it on the side, I guess. You got these little posts. Maybe that's more meant for robot mode, I guess. I mean, well, you got these little... I'm finding all sorts of different little things here, so... Can that tab in there? Not really. Oh, no, because that's rounded. You know, like I said, I mean, like, this looks kind of cool. I like that. This back section definitely just kind of looks like there's her chest with her arms, and she's, like, reaching in and grabbing her chest. I mean, it's not terrible, but like I said, they had to be fairly creative in terms of giving her some kind of mode, and it's okay. I'm all right with it. Now, in terms of looking around here, all of my figures right now in my Bumblebee line are all in robot mode, so I'm going to bring those in. But here's Optimus Prime. This is the Takara like premium finish one. You can see size-wise what you're basically looking at. Now, granted, he's a Voyager size figure, so you get that kind of idea. But hey, let's bring in some of the fembots. So here is Alita 1. Now, again, this is part of the Legacy line, so not meant really to kind of fit with it. And then, obviously, this is the Studio Series 86 ARCEE. But, again, Deluxe Class figure that scales pretty decently. And, for the most part, I kind of like the way that they did the motorcycle on this. It's futuristic, it's alien-looking, and, I don't know, I just dig it. Granted, I do think that the robot mode is better looking, and obviously that's where a lot of the focus kind of went for this figure, but I'm still happy with it nonetheless. Now, transformation, you're going to come around here to the side, you're going to detach these little bits, just like that. Now, that'll probably pull away from the arm as well, so you can do that either way. Just going to pull that part away, and then if that detaches, great. If not, don't worry about it. You can straighten out the fists right there. come around here to this top section here. You want to separate this. It tabs in 2 spots, right up here on the thigh, and then also down here on the shin. So you need to separate both of those, and then you can rotate just like that. Come around here to the front. Go ahead, split the legs. And then these pieces here are going to hinge inward, and then you want to take this and slide this out, and then this is going to rotate around and then push that back in. Get that lined up, put that back in there, and then put that back like so. And then you also need to take this, shout out to my viewers on my most recent live stream that actually had me kind of extend that, because out of the package, it doesn't have that. So again, we're going to extend that out, rotate that around, put that back. Out of the package, it's like that, and it was like not standing there at all. So to kind of pull this away, that's going to go all the way back, but just kind of hinge it to about there. That way now she'll actually be able to stand. Come around to the back section, detach all of this, open this piece up, get that, there we go, rotate the head up and around, and now this whole section here, accordion's in, and it's kind of tricky. Get that like that. Fold this up, bring this around. Oh, there we go. Accordion that, and then that. Oh, well, hold on. Yeah, well, the accordioning is a little bit tricky to do. There we go. Bring that up and over. Get the head position right there. These bits right here, you get these arms out of the way. Rotate that back around like that. Get the head situated. Make sure that that gets all collapsed in, and that's going to kind of lock in. There we are. Just like that. Straighten out the arms. Fiddle with her a little bit. And when you're done, let's see, did that actually... I feel like that's not really entirely secure back here. There we go. Something like that. All right. There we are. But when you're done, there you have ARCEE in a really cool looking robot mode. And once again, Hasbro has done a terrific job of taking a figure that originally did not have an alt mode, and within the design of the robot mode, we're able to engineer that alt mode into her. ARCEE turned out fantastic. Now, as you can see, you can have her dual wield her weapons if you really want to, but I just think that this is a really, again, a very well done looking figure. I'm really happy with how she turned out. It does have, obviously, a little bit more of an updated look. I don't particularly like that. I don't feel like I'm getting the back collapsed properly. That's one part that I would say I feel like could be done a little bit better. If I'm doing something wrong and you guys have noticed it, let me know, because I would like to correct that. But the overall aesthetic of her is really very pleasing. I think that she looks fantastic while giving us an updated look for the character and also giving us kind of a movie representation for it. Now, for some comparisons, let's do some of those right up front, just because how great she looks. She does go the wrong way. She also looks really good with her Autobot friends. So here is obviously Ratchet. Here is Ironhide. Here is Wheeljack, my favorite little stubby dude. Here is Brawn. Let's bring in him and get him set up there as well, because I have not done this in a very long time. Also, here is the Voyager class Optimus Prime. And again, all of these look fantastic. They really, really do. I guess I can bring in, since they're all from the Bumblebee movie, how about I actually bring in Bumblebee? I don't tend to do that a lot, but this is a great looking cast. Now for her articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so you get a pretty good range of motion with that. The shoulders here are on pin hinge joints, so you can move that forward and back, in and out. You have basically two bends here at the elbow. You also have a swivel at the upper part of the bicep. And then I guess as part of the transformation, her wrists can also move in if you really wanted to. She does rotate at the waist. The hips here also do move forward and back, in and out. They rotate at the upper part of the thigh. Nice, oh, don't want to collapse that entire thing down there. Get that all the way out. There we go. You do have a nice bend here at the knee. Ankles do move in and out kind of as part of the transformation. Then also just the way that the design is of it, you can also kind of, I mean, that kind of like bends in there. I feel like I don't have that in there proper. Oh, well. It works perfectly fine. The only, like I said, downfall that I feel, and I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, honestly. Oh wait, what is? No, did that lock it down? I just feel like the backpack doesn't stabilize all that well, like lock into place all that great. Unless, like I said, unless I did something wrong, I can't really tell you, to be honest. But I'm really very happy with how she turned out. I think that in terms of the overall look, she's really cool. I do love how she does have that all of these Bumblebee Cybertronian figures all have this very G1 kind of look that also does have a more updated kind of movie aesthetic. And I think that's really very cool, especially with her. It's so great to see ARCEE kind of kicking butt in a live action sort of film. Now, to transform her back, first we're going to get these arms, lift those up, kind of bring those hands in like that. And then you want to bend her at the upper joint, not the lower one, the upper one. And then just kind of have that kind of sit right there for right now. Go ahead. This whole back section will detach, kind of fully pull all this stuff out like so, and then you can accordion all this down and around, and then take her head, tuck that in, bring that down just like so, then kind of again put that right there, and then straighten this out just like that. And this is all going to come back and kind of line up here, but before you do all that, take the legs, collapse the little shin piece in, rotate this piece down, and see, I don't think I had that tabbed in properly before, so I feel like that should be, yeah, that's much better. So you want to push or fold that down and then pull this out, rotate that around, and then bring this back. And then when you collapse this in, you have a little post right here you have to line that up with. And there we go. So we can do that on this side, rotate that out, fold that out, rotate that around, bring this back down and around. And then when you collapse that, line that up. And you can bring your legs together. Now, I also don't like the tabbing on this. It pretty much lines up perfectly where you need it to go, but it just does not feel all that secure. So just give that a good squeeze, just like so. And then this whole section is going to hinge back. Bring that back. And then you have these little tabs. Where's that? Oh, I'm sorry. You want to rotate her at the waist. And then bring this up and around. Kind of set that there. And then you got these little slots here on the front parts of her shin, and then also, or I'm sorry, thighs, and then the shins. And then you bring this down to kind of just line that up. Kind of tab that in. It is a little bit tricky, but once you're done there you go. And then bring this down. And then again, you want to tab that down into her shin area. That probably, yeah, that's attached. So squeeze that back together. Line that up just like that. Get these kind of out of the way. And then you have little tabs right on the side here that are going to slot in here. So kind of bring that chest around. And squeeze that in there. There we go. So get that in like that. And then these are going to come around. And we'll tab in to the legs here. So you got this little piece right here that's going to lock in. You can kind of bring this up and lock that in along that little side bit, and then bring this all the way down, and you got a little tab on the inside there that will lock that in, and then just kind of keep the hands right there. So again, on this side, you're going to bring that down, tab that in, bring this little piece along the side, tab that in, close that back up, and then you take these blasters, and just kind of helps kind of hide the fact that she's just got random hands there. And just kind of straighten that. And when you're done, there you have ARCEE back in her little motorcycle mold. And again, I love the fact that they were able to do something when it didn't exist before. I think that for the most part, the vehicle mold wise looks pretty good. And I love the fact that she's not just that super kind of alien sports car. Now she's a super alien sports motorcycle. I guess. I mean, I would definitely say that the vehicle mode is probably the weakest element about her, but only realistically this back area here. I mean, it just looks like her chest and upper body kind of sitting there. When you put the guns there, it's like she's just holding the guns there. From like kind of the side though, that all looks pretty cool. I dig. I mean, like I said, that's just the worst part. This looks cool though. I like how this turned out. This really cool kind of wheel design is neat. She's got these wheels right under there, so she still rolls very, very well. And just for the most part, is a really well done figure. I'm quite happy with her. Transformation is fairly simple, but does do some kind of fun things. But ultimately, when you get to that robot mode, that's where she really shines. This figure turned out fantastic, and I am super happy to add her to my collection. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. There's my look at the new Transformers Studio Series, Transformers Bumblebee Deluxe Class ARCEE. If you'd like to add her or any other Transformer figures to your collection, you can do the real simple thing and go online to places like Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, or even Entertainment Earth. For all of those places, I'll put links right down there in the video description, where if you're not able to help to support the channel by becoming a channel member, visiting my sponsors can also really help support the channel as well. And finally, guys, please remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching, and taking the time to be a kid.